came out of nowhere being like, oh, you one day bullied me, out of nowhere, no
Wow, remix on that. And welcome to CTMC's Girls Who Chat About podcast. I'm Zed.
And I'm Ali. We are two women of colour who tell stories.
We also talk about current events and issues facing people in today's society. Enjoy this episode. Welcome to Series 3, Episode 6 of CTMC's podcast, Girls Chat About. And we have a special guest today.
Hi, it's me.
Sorry.
Me. You've missed me.
Who is me?
For those who don't know, I am Tania Hardcastle, and I am the founder and host of Brown Don't Frown Podcast.
Brilliant.
I don't know why I've got the giggles. I need to calm down.
You know what? Because we don't socialise anymore.
It's true,
Yeah.
Is that lockdown isolation?
Yeah.
It's got us in the feels. It's got us feeling weird. Strange.
Interaction right now.
Honestly, I have to get the train to work, and I'm so awkward now. I don't like getting in the train. I'm like, other people are around me. What is this? I don't like socialising with strangers. It's weird.
You know what? That does remind me. On the news this morning, there was this woman, and you know what? I totally understand what she was saying, but it's just the way she was saying it. It was this older woman getting really frustrated about joggers in the park, and she was like, they're just out here breathing all over you, and they're just, they need to jog before 7 a.m. because us dog walkers are sick of it. And I was just like,
That's extremely puritanical.
Yeah, to be fair though,
irate.
in the first lockdown out of a million, I started doing couch to 5k, and I remember I'd send voice notes, really frustrated, why are there other joggers here jogging in my park? Why are they getting exercise at the same time? I was getting really frustrated, but I don't know why.
You're part of the problem.
I don't jog no more, but this is when it was nicer weather. But I was just getting really frustrated. I don't get it, because it's just they're out here trying to get some exercise too, but that's me being petty. I want them to
put you off
away.
Look what you did.
Were you by that?
Well, I didn't finish the last week like an idiot, so yeah, I guess it did.
Oh yeah, you did every week but the last week. I was so really?
I did 8 weeks. I had 3 more runs to complete. I didn't do it.
Oh no! Get back into it.
Nah, not in this darkness. Not in this darkness.
It's so cold.
I've seen enough Crime Watch to know that it's not safe jogging at night, so I'm like, you know what, it's fine. I'll take my 8 weeks.
Yeah. You know what? It's still so impressive that you stuck to it, because I'm not doing that.
Maybe if it's Walmart starts again, but right now I'm like, nah, it's all good.
Maybe lockdown 57, you'll change your mind.
Mm-hmm.
Lockdown 57. Oh yeah.
It feels that way, doesn't it, guys?
It honestly feels like it's never going to end.
It doesn't because... Sorry.
No, go for it.
No, I'm saying it doesn't because it's just the news is changing constantly. There's no consistency. No one knows what the truth is anymore. No one actually has any clarification what is happening. Overall, I know numbers are going down in terms of infection, but that's pretty much it. There's no other info, so it's just ugh.
Yeah, especially with schools being closed, and there was this whole thing about them opening in February, and in my heart I was like,
they ain't gonna open in February.
It's gonna be Easter.
Absolutely no way.
They lie. They're lying.
We'll be lucky if it's Easter.
Do you know what I mean?
They're doing a scar from Lion King. They're lying.
They're
They're gonna be faster. They're lying. Sorry, I'll stop.
Are you okay?
No, I'm not okay. That's the whole point of this thing. No one's okay.
It's lockdown 3. If you're okay in lockdown 3, then bloody hell, you must be.
I feel you. I'm actually.
A motivational
scared. Someone's okay not figuring out what's going on in there, because that's not normal, Something up with you. You're not okay.
Yeah, I mean, those people aren't normal. The people who are feeling normal.
That's the thing.
There is no such thing as normal anymore.
Yeah.
It's not a thing.
Well, this is
the new normal. Ooh.
The one normal thing in my life right now is just lighting Yankee candles.
Oh, yeah.
That's hella bouge.
Yep. I did that last night. It was amazing. It smells so good, though. They're so, highly concentrated.
Yeah. They are worth the money.
It really smells your room out.
So our lives are wild.
Yeah, candles. Mine was cotton linen scent. Exciting. Ooh, and today, guess what, guys? I changed my bedding.
Oh, wow.
Oh, you changed the game. You're gonna sleep good.
And I hung up my clothing as well.
Oh,
That is
so
a
you're
achievement.
just adulting.
I mean, how I'm still here is beyond me. The wild life I live.
Live fast, die
Really
young, you know.
I'm like, yeah, better hang up this shirt. I only live once. Won't experience this again.
Oh my god.
Wash my towels as well. Honestly, crazy. Someone stop me.
You know what? We haven't got the heart to, because what else is there in life?
Next week we'll sort my drawers out. Wow, child.
Do not raise your blood pressure so high. Like, please.
Honestly.
Please.
I'm actually finding myself like spreading all my admin tasks out pretty thin so that I don't run out of things to do. I'll be like
You
doing
have
them
to.
really slowly.
You have to.
Relish each thing separately.
Relish. Take our time.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Because
Because,
what else is there?
I've said because I've got admin stuff, but I'm like, I could probably do it in about a weekend, but I'm spreading it across 3 weekends.
Just cause.
Why not?
Yeah, exactly.
YOLO.
It's true.
Doesn't mean anything, does
Where
it?
is? Mm-hmm.
Goodness me. I think this is when I get a bit nostalgic about how life used to be, because I think I was always out of the house. Like, I was always busying myself with social things and just looking forward to the next event and now I've become such a homebody and very much comfortable with my own routine.
Yeah,
I don't think I'm ever gonna go back to it, which is very strange.
Yeah, I'm actually scared about that because before I was always doing something. Like after work, I'd always like see people, go to an event, something like that. But I feel like now I don't know if we went back to pre-pandemic times. Like I don't know how I'd react socially. I feel like I might be a bit awkward.
But we're all going to be that lady complaining about the joggers.
Because with the first lockdown, I remember when things started opening up again. Like I think was it July-ish? No, August. No, I think it was July.
July-ish, yeah, a little bit July.
Yeah, I remember we had like an evening out planned, and I was so anxious for like ages coming up. It was just literally going out for like a few drinks, but I was just really like even getting ready. I was like, I'm really anxious. I don't know why. Like I really felt nervous going to a bar. It was very strange.
Yeah, I remember feeling like that when I went out to a restaurant like, for the first time after the restrictions were lifted, and yeah, I just felt really weird. Like coming into close contact with like the waiter was just like I just found it really uncomfortable.
Yeah, you start freaking out, don't you? And you start looking at people like, you wearing your mask properly? Is that person, you know, washing their hands?
Someone starts coughing, or like I need to run a mile.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm not allowed to swear, am I? I can take that out.
Oh no, we swear.
Oh yeah, we say bad things.
We say bad things here, like, you know. No, there's no rules here apart from, you know, just don't say our full names.
I know exactly. Okay, do you know what? No, you have to cut it out because I'm just thinking about my professional reputation.
Alright, I'll
You
cut
say
it out.
that, but did you not post my full name on Instagram?
Okay, I'll put it back down. I'll put it back down. I'm so upset because
Did you?
I did. Because I showed the screenshots of her terrible typo.
It was a typo about food. And it had to go on the ground.
It was the best thing that's ever happened, and that again shows the quality of my life. But it was just the whole, because me and Ali, like, we're both trying to be healthy, so we're telling each other what we're eating. You know, we're trying to share those good things about each other. And then instead of saying corn nuggets, she wrote Quran nuggets. And
Holier than thou.
I cried laughing. Like 5 minutes. I was like, what? some extra inshallah on them nuggets. Like, they were just fun. And I literally was just like, I just kept, every time I went back to read it, it was just, I shared it on the story, and I blocked your name out of one screenshot, and I think there was a second one of me just literally uploading my laugh, just me laughing at it, because I had to. That's literally all I do to Ali. If I laugh at her, I record it for her so she can feel that warmth from me.
I can't help it, I'm funny.
I'm blasphemous.
My phone be funny too.
yeah. Your phone was like, you don't get a rest today. Quarantine questions and Quran nuggets, title of this episode. Oh god, but I don't want to get cancelled, so we're not doing that.
Yeah, we're fine. We ain't done anything too offensive yet. It's all good.
Yet.
We're safe.
Today's topic, let's go to that. Today's topic was, well, I gave the girls a task as well as myself to try and think of.
Are we in school? A task?
A task, yes. I've assigned a task, and we all did our homework, and we all flopped. Okay, because we all struggled to a bit. I think you might have been the best, but let's find out. Let's find out. What we prepared earlier. We were supposed to think of women of color role models that we had growing up. Any luck, guys?
Nah.
No.
And that is the end of today's episode of Girls Who Chat. We'll see you next week.
Stick around for the next collab. It was nice seeing you. Oh my god. You know how depressing it is?
Can you imagine?
Racking your brain. Because I was actually deeping it. I was like, who was my role model growing up? Do you know what singer I was obsessed with growing up, which makes no sense now?
Samantha Mumba.
Oh,
I forgot about her. Jamelia, but she was basic
that's
though.
a good guess. Mine was Pink. Pink.
Oh yeah, I like Pink.
Pink was lit.
I did like Pink. I did like Pink.
But looking back, I was like, yeah, she's no. She's definitely a woman of colour, to my knowledge.
Nah, for me it was J.K. Rowling, because like I said before, like I was a massive bookworm. So I love my books.
Harry Potter.
So I love the Harry Potter series, so I was a massive fan of her. But again, she don't really count.
No.
Yeah.
She white.
But I think
I've got two white women.
Hello, white.
As my role model. Yeah, I've got two white women as my role models back in the day.
Oh yeah, who?
So Jacqueline Wilson.
Oh yeah, I've met her.
Yep.
And Beatrix Potter.
Oh,
yeah, that's a nice one.
Yeah.
That's well cute.
She did all the illustrations as well. That's what I was googling earlier. Because I was like, did she also draw her own pictures? And I realised that she did.
Oh, so multi-talented. Oh, that's nice.
Yeah.
So it's funny how authors come into the play a lot, because I wonder if many people would say that, like now, like younger people, would they look to writers, or is it a bit more shallow?
It's about influencers.
Yeah, I was thinking, like, I think it'd be different if we were born 10 years later, because I think growing up, our sort of exposure to like influencers and social media was stupidly restricted. Like, it just wasn't as available, whereas now it's like legit in the palm of our hands. So the only sort of influence you had was like from like music videos, so musical artists, film stars, film actors, actresses, from TV shows, film, the odd reality TV star, maybe Big Brother or something, but again, it wasn't really as big as it is now, reality TV, so yeah.
Depressing, really. But then maybe that's just the telling of the times, because everything's very visual and quick right now, whereas growing up, I remember buying magazines for my to get updates, Instagram wasn't a thing. Grew up to actually art lessons of Ali bringing magazines and reading out the trashy
Pick Me Up.
Pick Me
Up magazine.
She used to read those at lunchtime to us, of the trashy stories. Genuinely entertaining, but thinking back, quite tragic.
All the agony aunt stuff.
Yep. My husband sleeping with my gardener. What do I do? Oh, what do you do, Margaret? What do you do? Number one, don't write into a magazine. That's some advice I'd give you.
That's such a slow.
Number two,
wait for a response as well. Like
that's the thing.
Weeks go by and the gardener's still there.
That's the thing. So what you do? You just waiting then, like
chilling,
just twiddling your thumbs for like 3 weeks.
What do I do?
Meeting the gardener again.
It's that SpongeBob meme in the cafe, just sitting there like,
It's true.
What do I do? Or the Bernie Sanders meme.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh god, that's going everywhere.
Classic. Man just
I like the Bollywood twists on it.
Yeah.
Film references.
Oh yeah, because Tom Felton posted like literally a screenshot of Harry Potter, like, and I was just like, that looks like a normal picture. And then I read the caption, he was like, oh, part of the crew. I was like, what? And then in the background I see Bernie. I was like, for God's sake, like the editing is getting better. The editing is getting so smooth that I cannot notice when Bernie Sanders is in the back of a Harry Potter picture.
That is just blowing up, hasn't it? But he is so relatable right now. He's just like...
He is so relatable. It's literally how everyone is feeling right
Pretty
now.
much.
Mm-hmm. Do you like those mittens, though?
The mittens are warm, I'm not gonna lie. I think apparently the teacher knitted those mittens and sold them. So I'm just like, okay, cool,
That's
right.
precious.
You need to find your Etsy.
Yeah, them ones. Support small businesses, guys.
They've started selling T-shirts with his face on, or that little image of him, and he's raising that money. He's going to give it to charity. You know, there's like a soup kitchen, I think, for homeless people.
See, that's
nice.
epic.
So,
That's epic.
Yeah.
I like that.
doing his bit, the ever socialist. It's very on brand.
Very, very on brand. Very, but you know what? Man's smart, because that's what Kylie Jenner did when she did her weird Rise and Shine singing, and then 2 twos, she capitalized and made that into t-shirts or something stupid like that. I was like, are you kidding me? You don't need more money.
The Kardashians are too jarring to be so rich. That's what I've got to say on that.
You know, I had a really weird thought. Like, I don't even know why my mum went there, but I was again, those are role models, but really, are they? But
No, I wouldn't want my kid admiring anyone like that. My opinion.
Yeah. I just had a weird daydream. Like, what if one of them just decided, fuck it, I'm not gonna make a jeans line, a lipstick line. I'm going to fund a book program, or I'm going to. I mean, obviously Kim's doing the law stuff and doing quite good with that. But I just think one of them should just drop like something so not aesthetic and just something good for people.
Yeah. Great and good.
And it kind of tells you about them as people, because they could do that, yet they've chosen not to. So it kind of says what sort of people they are. You've got all these resources and finances, and you could actually make a real change. I'm not saying they don't, because I don't know what they do with their money. However, all you're seeing is, buy this shapewear. Do this. Let my child sing poorly to my ex-husband's catwalk show and let me cry about it. It's just
those
like...
are clothes.
Do you remember that? There was like this really tone-deaf post that she made.
Yeah.
She went to like some weird remote island, private island, and she was like, "Oh my god, we had to quarantine for 2 weeks for this."
Oh, I remember that.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah.
I think she flew about 40 people over. And I'm just like, some people haven't seen their family members in literally months. They cannot afford to do that, but you go and rent your private island and expect people to be like, oh, that's fantastic. It's just, again, shows how
so
far
shallow.
removed
they
are. But then you're doing this. That's what I found the thing, because she's doing this law thing. These people are, in prison. They might not have the best upbringing, etc., etc. But you're saying you care about it. You're trying to make a change, and then you're going to go and do that as well.
That's
it's unnecessary.
Yeah.
All for the sake of Instagram posts and stuff, and it's just like, it's nice that you can afford to have such a nice lockdown and quarantine, but people legit can't even go to the shops.
Out here are just trying to make our sourdough and failing.
Exactly.
I can't even make sourdough.
I can't even do it. I'm not even trying.
I'm in the mood for baking now. I might try banana bread. No, I'm not hit that age yet. I'm not hit that stage yet. No, no.
Mate, let's be honest. We've all hit that stage. It's just whether we post it or not.
As long as I can be bothered. I might try banana bread. But that's the thing. It's just very tone deaf, and it was just insulting, because then her sister tried to justify it. Which one was it? The one that might not be the
Chloe.
one who might be a half sister.
Chloe. That might be. The bottom two are.
The thing.
But yeah, Chloe, they all think it's OJ's daughter, don't they?
Yeah, they think, exactly. And
oh my god, no.
She looks very different compared to all the siblings, though.
She definitely looks. Yeah,
she doesn't look all of them look very even Kylie and Kendall. They all look very. Even though they're half siblings, they've all got that face. But Chloe just looks very different. Very different.
Mm-hmm.
And she doesn't take after their dad or really their mum. So who is it?
It is really strange. Yeah.
What is the truth?
I'm doing eyes right now. You can't really see it, but I'm doing eyes,
It's quite interesting as well, because, I mean, especially because this family have been accused of quite a few examples of like appropriation and culture appropriation and stuff, and obviously a lot of them are in mixed background. What am I trying to say? Interracial relationships.
Mixed race kids.
Yeah, a lot of mixed race kids and stuff, and like that. You see, apart from which one? Apart from Courtney.
Yeah, and Kendall.
Oh yeah, Kendall ain't got no kids. She's chilling. She's legit.
You know what? Good for her, isn't it?
Well, yeah. She's just young. But then again, they're so rich. I guess it's no skin off their nose, isn't it, to have a kid? Like,
yeah, true.
They can legit just like hire someone to do it for them, like Kim did.
Yeah. My God, yeah. I don't know. I find it that I saw this article a while ago. It's annoying I didn't save it, but it was about how not fetishization of their kids, but that whole kind of obsession over mixed heritage kids and how all their Instagram posts about their kids was again just kind of exploiting their black features and stuff. And I was trying to really sit back and think, do I believe that? Do I agree with that? Because yes, to a degree, but then also they're just social media people that have that platform, and that's just the kids they have. But I was trying to decide, because again, that's the whole idea of like role models and like people of colour, who do they look up to? Then you just see these really rich kids living a better life, having playhouses that are worth more than my car, like than my life.
They can play houses that cost the same as the actual house.
Yeah, like Stormy, when they showed that flipping dollhouse thing that had like different levels to it, I was just like, you're just living better than I ever would.
Do you know what I mean? And it's like they're too young to appreciate it. That's what irks me. It's like, but they're so young, they don't really actually appreciate what it's worth. They just think, oh, look, a pretty toy, that's all it is. But you're spending thousands of pounds that could go to a soup kitchen or a school. Like, come on.
That just reminds me, there is a clip of like is it Cardi B's daughter Culture, like they gave, I think Offset gave her a Birkin bag, and then she was just playing with the box, because obviously she don't care.
That's the thing. Honestly, like, I've seen kids legit play with a piece of paper like it's the best thing ever. So you can save so much money, you know. Just chuck a piece of paper, A4, some crayons, let them go to town, they'll be fine.
You've thought about this. You've already made this plan.
Honestly, I'm the parent on the budget, you know. No playhouse for you.
I'm dead. Even as a billionaire.
And imagination.
The good old-fashioned way.
Yeah, like you're gonna grow up how I grew up, innit?
God.
Better than I grew up. 2 bits of paper.
But are you saying that because you grew up a certain way? Because we haven't grown up as billionaires.
No, unfortunately not.
Unfortunately.
Something I'm still resentful for, but it's fine. I'll get over it eventually.
Yeah.
You know when you wait for that reveal, like you hit 16, you're like, yeah, any minute my mum's gonna tell me we're secretly rich.
It's true. We had to go on the run. We're actually royalty. We had to leave the country because it wasn't safe. And now I must go back and reclaim the throne. Yeah,
that Princess Diaries kind of plot twist. Like, oh, by the way. Oh, Princess Diaries. That was a good film growing up.
Oh, yeah. Another role model?
Yeah.
I think not. No, I didn't actually even finish. I didn't finish watching it. I got bored.
Wow.
I never saw the end.
I loved it when I was a kid, but now I feel like it's not the same.
It's a bit meh. Yeah.
Anne Hathaway just boring.
What was Anne Hathaway saying the other day? Wasn't she saying people?
I didn't even want to watch the sequel.
Isn't?
Oh, I don't even remember the sequel.
Oh, the sequel is that there was some other prince that comes along, and then she forgets all about the guy that she likes from the first film that she was kind of fighting for.
This is what I mean. These films are trash.
It's rubbish.
I hate sequels because they ruined the first one. It's just like you got with the guy. That's you successfully hit that trope. You don't then have to take it further.
And then it sort of makes you sort of run. Well, I didn't see it, but I know the plot. I think she had to get married or something like that. I don't know. But then it kind of makes you look a bit like a dickhead, because it's like, oh, you were this childhood sweetheart, and now someone rich and royal comes along. I don't need you anymore. Bye. It's just that's not very nice. Poor role model. Mm-hmm.
So, did we have any good role models growing up, guys?
I just think it's funny that I have role models, as in like if I could choose people who I look up to back in the day when I was a kid, and they both happen to be white, whereas if I were to look at role models now in my 20s, they are both women of colour. So, yeah.
Who are your role models now, Tania?
I don't really have any, but if I were to pick,
Yes.
it's going to be authors again, isn't it? So, like,
Oh.
I've recently read a book by this Indian author called Arundhati Roy,
Okay.
and I really like the way she, writes her fiction.
Oh, what's the book on? What's the book?
It's called The God of Small Things.
I've seen that posted everywhere. What is that about?
you?
Yeah, because
read
everyone's
it-
saying to read
yeah.
it.
I read it quite a while ago, actually. I think it was a couple of years ago, but
Okay.
I remember really liking it. And
Okay, I'm
I'll probably
just
read
slow.
it again.
I'm just slow on that one, sorry.
It's quite complex.
Oh, Lord.
And yeah, that's cool. And then who else do I really like? I was thinking of someone else, but I've forgotten their name now.
Whoops.
Clearly, they're not a role model.
hardly
I can't remember
there
their
for
bloody
you.
name.
I'm dead. See, my choices are a bit more shallow. I'm thinking Mindy Kaling from the Mindy Project.
She's cool. I like her.
And for me, like, and that was from uni upwards. Like, that for me to see like a South Asian have like their own kind of comedy show, and it's about her having like open relationships and none of that old kind of like all those tropes that you get. Like, well, I loved Bend It Like Beckham, but yeah, like this whole struggle.
Yeah.
I love Bend It Like Beckham. Don't get it twisted, but yeah, it was just like her just living life and being successful, but also being awkward with it. And I was like, she's great. Where was this growing up?
Yeah. Yeah, Bend It Like Beckham was definitely a cool film. There wasn't really anything like it at the time when it came out for Asian girls, was there?
But
Especially
even now,
British.
yeah,
South
British,
Asian.
yeah, and football and everything. It was just so left wing. It's just so to the left, like a Sikh girl wanting, who it does end up with her coach, which is a bit odd looking back.
But that was never actually guaranteed, and I actually wouldn't have minded a sequel to that. Actually, to sort of see what happened when she came back.
Yeah, more
Yeah,
successful.
they should have done a sequel. That would have been cool.
Very
That
surprised.
because like it ended quite open. Like it hinted they'd get together. However, there was lots of things that could have changed. Well, I think she went to like America or something, didn't she, at the end of the film? So that would have been quite an interesting sequel to sort of see.
Yeah, but I guess I do like the fact that it's just a standalone film and it just did so well and still iconic. I do think sequels are very hit and miss. Like East is East.
Sometimes they can ruin it. Yeah.
Yeah, like East is East, the second one, it was
Terrible.
alright, but yeah, exactly. I don't go back to it. Whereas if the first one, if the first one comes on TV, I'll be like, this is iconic. Him saying, bloody bastard all the time is great. Just like it's fantastic. Like just, but like the second one, it was just kind of like meh.
Yeah, because I think because the second one it didn't have as many. But there's a lot of like key characters in the first one that wasn't in the second one, so like the appeal wasn't there.
That's true.
But
Whereas I've just finished marathoning all 3 seasons of Cobra Kai, and loads of the original actors do come back for the series. I'm like, wow, it makes such a difference, like to have that continuity.
Yeah,
Even if I can't remember.
if you've got a sequel that maybe has like one person from the original, it doesn't have that draw. Because I'm just like, what's completely different? Then the vibe's gonna be different because the whole cast is different. It needs a good chunk of the original for it to be a successful sequel, in my opinion. Like for example, Bridget Jones. It had most of the, although like it's based on books and stuff, it did have a lot of the original cast from the first film. Hence why, it was hence why I really enjoyed it.
Wait, there's a third one, isn't there?
I need to watch that still.
Okay, yeah.
I mean, Bridget Jones was also. I was just thinking when you mentioned role model, I'm like, actually, are these people that I like now, are they role models, or am I just inspired by them? Because I'm just thinking, you know what? I'm not so. I can take them or leave them. So I'm just thinking, are they true role models so I don't actually care? Or it's just like someone I'm like, okay, I like you. You're somewhat inspirational, but I don't need you. I'm my own person.
I know what you mean, but weirdly at the same time you said that, I was like, I really did fuck with the Spice Girls though. Like, I really did. Like,
Really?
I was
like their
obsessed.
music, but I just found them jarring.
I had birthday parties with their music as the entire background of the parties. Like my poor father.
You lived life.
My parents and my aunties really did come together for my birthday. So like my dad used to film everything, and you just hear like a Spice Girls song in the background as we were doing Pass the Parcel, and I'm just like, it's kind of lit. But looking back, I was like, that music trash. I know, my poor parents have to listen to that music over and over again.
Yeah. I actually remember those two going together, like Pass the Parcel and Spice Girls.
Right?
And one of my cousins, she actually won like the prize at the end, and hers was a Spice Girl t-shirt.
Ah.
I remember that. That was hilarious.
That's classic foreshadowing, man. They planned that. They planned that. You will like the Spice Girls. You will like the final prize.
Oh gosh.
Ta-da.
I mean, the fact that they're still going though, actually, because like, yeah, I mean, how long have they been going on for? I mean, to be fair, Victoria Beckham, good for her, because I think she knows like I'm past it now. Like,
Yeah.
stop flogging a dead horse. And it's kind of like they're going on tour, but it's like everyone knows you're broke. That's why you're doing this tour, and it's just kind of like a bit cringe.
Yeah, because they're still quite successful. They still do their own things, don't they? They're still about, sort of. But Victoria Beckham really did the best in terms of, I guess, like business and stuff, didn't she?
Well, yeah, that's the thing. She took opportunity. I don't think she actually really wanted to be in the band, but I think it was similar to not the same vibe, but like I don't watch Love Island, but there was one member of Love Island. What's her name? Molly May.
Oh.
She was like, to be honest, I only went on there. Like, I didn't go on there to find anyone. I literally went on there just for exposure and to just improve, like, my work opportunities. That's what she's very honest. She's just like, yeah, I wasn't expecting to find anything, but I went there. It was more business. That's why she went on it, and she's done well for herself. So appreciate her honesty, innit? Because that's why I'd go on that show. I wouldn't go on it to find them. I would go on it because I'm like, okay, right, I need these sponsorships.
But that's interesting now that you've mentioned Love Island, because isn't there a whole controversy about one not pronouncing Yoanda's name properly or something?
Lucy, because Lucy started it. Because I'm very upset with this. I don't watch it, but that's the thing with Instagram. You're up to date with stuff, even if you don't actually have any idea who these people are. But this Lucy came out of nowhere being like, oh, you one day bullied me, out of nowhere, no
wow, remix on that.
But it's out of nowhere, she's like, yeah, you one day bullied me, and then Rose Girl, she came out and was like, well, you one day first was like, you couldn't even pronounce my name properly, don't talk to me about bullying you, and then Amber was like siding with you one day and being like, oh, you asked if you could call her Y rather than actually pronouncing her name.
That's so insulting.
And it's just like stupidness like that. And then everyone else is apparently saying that this Lucy person, all she did was cry. So, yeah, she's like stupid now because it's just like, it came out of nowhere, but there was no need for it. You're trying to start something, but it's backfired.
Trying to be relevant, but yeah, I'm looking at Yoanda's story now, and she's talking about like kind of how it's an example of name-based microaggressions, which is, and it's just, I think it's good that this happened to kind of educate people, but then, you know what frustrates me, and it's like the worst place to go to is Instagram comments from like idiots, and there was literally a comment by someone called David going, I've been called Davy, and you know, I get over it, and then someone underneath was like, you're not really the demographic there trying to defend it.
To be honest, you could just say, call me David.
Yeah, exactly.
Could you say that? That's the thing. It's like, if someone calls you Dav and you went, call me David, no one will have an issue pronouncing the word David.
Exactly.
Like, I've never met anyone who can't pronounce the word David.
Exactly.
So
it's just the fact that he joined in like, oh, I get over it, and it's like, that's really not the thing that's being talked about right now. Like, your name has not got a history of aggressions like that, so shut up. Like, it was just the comments.
And the thing is as well, like, this, well, I didn't see it, but apparently she didn't even try. Like, she's just like, oh, can I just call you Y? Like, it's basically make my life easier because I can't be bothered to make the effort. But you now want to be like, oh yeah, she bullied you. You couldn't even be bothered. You could like, how? Sorry to interrupt, but like, how? For me, like, I'm thinking, if you can't even make the effort to call me by my name, I'm like, how low of you? Like how low of me do you think that you can't even make the effort just to pronounce my name properly?
Yeah, it's a bad first.
Together.
It's a bad first
like,
impression.
How bottom am I on your priority list? That my name is even too much for you to do. It's
mad, isn't it? It's mad because with I think it's just a manners thing, and I think it's just again, it's a level of ignorance, isn't it? To just think, oh, I'll just call you this. And you do see a lot of ethnic people just doing that because it's just quicker and it's easier, and some don't mind.
And anglicize their name,
yeah. But then growing up, I'm just like, why? Like, I guess it's to keep the peace.
Just because I think as well, particularly like depending on your background, but you don't want to come across as argumentative or whatever, because some people look at you and be like, oh, well, these people are like this, this, and this, so let's not risk that sort of mindset going around, before I've even settled in somewhere.
That's true. That's very true, and that's what Yolanda says on her story. She just people would just do that to make their lives easier, but now I think the reason there's kind of like a clash in the comments, like, oh, just get over it, why is everyone complaining, is because back in the day probably there wasn't a shared platform in order to voice that and realise that was a widespread thing. Like, now that people are standing up for themselves and calling people out on it, people don't like being called out on their mistakes.
And the thing is, you're saying I should get over it. Okay, cool. Get over the difficulty, the quote-unquote difficulty, and learn my name then. In terms to get over, you not pronouncing it properly, just learn it. How hard is it for you? It's two things, isn't it?
One thing that gets me in a recent, it's happened in a couple of workplaces, just the spelling of my name as well.
People just get lazy, don't they?
Yeah, they put an L in my name.
Ow.
They put an extra L. I'm just like, oh, you could have just looked at my name tag,
Mad. Yeah,
I think it's the worst when you sign off with your email signature.
Yeah.
And you still get your name wrong.
Yeah, exactly. It's there, and then I respond back, and then put my name again. I type it, and then the funniest thing is I did that recently, and then the email back was a correction of my name. I was like, good. Good, you actually clocked that you got rid. I don't even think they missed out any vowels. They added some extra ones, and I was like, huh? What does that even sound like? That doesn't sound like my name.
The phonetics in this is too much. I cannot do this.
They elongated my name, which is
honestly
absolutely no need to. It was okay as it was. I didn't ask for that update. But all right, thanks, mate.
Yeah, but I think this is what I'm just thinking back to the Love Island thing. This is why I don't engage in that show, because I just find it very shallow. The people who go on there are just not people I hang around with.
I've never watched it.
Same, never watched
me either. I personally don't see the appeal.
Yeah, but the appeal is that it's a shallow show. It's a shallow show, and people watch
it because it's shallow. Yeah.
But the thing is though, I know this is going off the tangent about role models and stuff. There have been 3 deaths linked to that show.
Yeah.
Why is it still
suicide? Yeah.
3 suicides. It's not been deaths. 3 suicides have been linked to that show. Why is it still glamorized and everyone's like, oh yeah, I don't get it. That's a whole other conversation to be had. Yeah,
when you say it like that, it shouldn't really be. I mean, shows have been cancelled for less.
Jeremy Kyle had 1 suicide. It's been on the air for, I think, a decade longer. 1 suicide, really tragic. However, that's been cancelled. Love Island, been on the air for, 2 or 3 years? 3 suicides, it's still going. And they've got spin-offs. Make it make sense.
Jeremy Kyle ain't pretty, that's why. That whole show does not fit. But it's true, though. It does. Everything's about aesthetics now. And there's no screenshot. There's any screenshot of Jeremy Kyle that will make an Instagram feed look nice.
No. Maybe security guard.
I don't watch that. Maybe the security. Fuck's sake. I need to cut that out as well. Oh my goodness.
One of them ones.
So, despite kind of this shallow representation of and these people having more of a platform now, I do see more women of colour out there. I feel like I can draw on at least 5 off the top of my head now compared to when I was younger. So surely that's a good thing, no?
I think it's because they can now promote themselves. You don't need someone else to promote you. You can legit, if you wanted to. For example, I really like on Instagram, on Instagram.
Instagram, that's a new update.
Instagram for over 50 and over.
Just a whole discovery page of knitting.
Yep, reminisce, do baking and knitting.
That's basically it now.
Problematic statements and all that jazz. But you can promote yourself, for example, like with Queen Mojo, she's done her, like, you can build your own platform. You don't need to have someone else sign you up or to do this, that, and the other. You can legit just do it yourself.
Oh, Queen Mojo's good, yeah. Plus size black woman who literally every day, like, she's just got such an infectious personality, hasn't she?
We could be such good friends, but she doesn't know I exist.
Well, DM her then.
She gets tons though. Like, what's our DM? We could be such good friends, but you don't know I exist.
She literally like organises those shared bike rides though.
I can't ride a bike. I thought you knew this.
I forgot.
Do you remember that scene from this morning?
What scene?
When Gina's like, "Oh, if my grandma had wheels, she'd have been."
Oh yeah. And it made no sense. And it's just like, wait, what? You eating pasta? What's the guy doing with grandma on the bike?
It's the minute.
It pulls all these like idioms like out of context completely.
But you know what? Iconic, because how dare you call my authentic Italian dish a carbonara?
Yeah, I was so mad. Oh my god.
But is it carbonara Italian? Or is it not?
I don't.
Italian?
It is. I think it should. Yeah, it's supposed to be Italian.
Oh,
then what's the beef? Just let her enjoy it,
He didn't like the way they made it. They put like certain ingredients, and he was like, "No, carbonara does not come with these ingredients." And the other thing was the toad in the hole.
Oh, I don't remember that one.
Gosh, I'm just thinking about like, British food as a whole, right?
I've been disappearing into wormholes on YouTube during lockdown.
I was watching. What was I watching? I was watching What I Eat in a Day videos, and it led to crime fighters. Literally, this man was chasing illegal hot dog vans. And it was just
best job ever.
And all the comments were like, "This guy could be in the CIA. Why are you chasing hot dog vans?"
That is ridiculous.
I would name his business Sausage Party.
But honestly, I was looking at him I'm like, you know what? I don't want to ever order out again, because like these hot dog vans, it's just like, oh, you can get really bad stomach illnesses from these hot dogs that have just been sat there, and the knife could be used to cut the hot dog, but also stab someone. I'm just like, that's what he said. I'm like, these hot dog vans, man, they're wild.
Damn. Now I've got to think twice when I order my pizza.
No, and then I watched, what's it called? It's about like food hygiene in restaurants. And
bloody hell.
Because I used to think, oh yeah, 4-star is good. There was this Chinese restaurant, it was 4-star. But when she went to investigate, it was filthy. There was like bug traps around. He had contaminated cooked meat with raw meat. It was just so poorly done.
Oh my god.
Do you not want to be happy when you watch these? What the hell? Ignorance is this,
He had a 4-star rating and he had a lot of improvements to make, but he still kept the 4-star rating until he basically she was going to come back later and see if he'd improved it, and if he hadn't, then she'd drop the stars down. But I'm like, but you've given him, he's still got a 4-star rating, so if I didn't know any better, I'd still order from you thinking, oh, it's 4-star. So I'm just really put off. I think I'm only going to do chain restaurants now if I ever go out.
You know what?
Chain restaurants.
Yeah, they get held to a higher standard, don't they?
That's the state. But actually, I can't even say that actually, because there's a Papa John's on there, and that was bad. I can't even do chain.
Oh no, I don't like Papa John's.
I liked it because it was cheaper than Domino's, but to be honest, I don't even like ordering pizza out because it's so expensive regardless wherever you go.
There's a local one that is actually quite good and it arrives very quickly because I just don't think anyone else orders from them.
There's a big hint. Look at the rating.
The rating's decent. Now you got me checking. Flipping. Actually, I used to work across the road from it. I used to work across the road from this pizza place, and I'm pretty sure I witnessed the police raiding the top floor because there was a literal working brothel on top of it. So,
wow! Do they get the discount? Discount?
I don't know if the prostitutes got a discount, Ali.
Maybe a free one.
Oh my
Reminds me a
god.
bit of what's it called? Ill Manners.
Oh, for God's sake.
It's got Ill Manners. It's not Professor Green. Is it Professor Green?
No, it's the other one. It's
The other one who's like him, Khabib's brother.
Plan B.
Plan B. I was thinking, who's Hamby?
Hanbi, the rapper. No.
Plan B, yeah, Plan B. And there's a bit where like there's this woman who's a prostitute, and they think that this like thug thinks that she's stolen his phone, so he pimps her out for like £10 and a kebab or 2 kebabs.
Oh yeah, she has to perform a fellatio for money, doesn't she?
Yeah, and the money back for the phone.
I had to say it the classy way.
She didn't even have the phone, so she did all that for nothing. And, how are you pimping me out for a kebab? No respect.
Yeah, Ill Manners is actually kind of peak when I look back at it.
It is a good film though. I do like it. Like, it's a very poignant film. It does stick with you.
Yeah, and they're hard to rewatch, those kind of films, because you know when it stays with you, it's like I don't need to watch it again.
I've watched it like 2 or 3 times.
Of course you did. You like pain.
I find it fascinating.
This is what happens when you don't grow up with proper role models, guys. You watch crime. You watch crime.
You watch a man chasing a hot dog man, dirty restaurants, and Ill Manners.
I am
no
weak.
role model. Hashtag no role model life.
Hashtag find Annie a role model. Get her off the YouTube.
Make her Queen Mojo's friend. Oh, get her to meet Queen Mojo. Oh, imagine. Goodness me. I think it's just, yeah, this is a lot. I feel like kids have got a choice of role models, but the problem is, the more people out there influencing, the more idiots you're going to get given a platform. Do you know what I mean?
Oh yeah, 100%. I mean, do you guys know of Miss R Fabulous at all?
No. She's a YouTuber or something. She's a
YouTuber and influencer, and she's someone who became prominent because basically she the scandal is that she went for a BBL, but the BBL ended up being botched. So she's been very outspoken about the place and her treatment, blah blah blah. So she made it seem that she had got Brazilian butt lift.
A butt job. Yeah.
So it was botched, so like her whole like bum and thigh is lumpy and misshapen and stuff like that.
That's so
So she made it seem that she was very outspoken on it. She was very outspoken about it, and she basically made it seem that she had paid for the procedure out of her own money.
Oh, Turns
out, actually, she hadn't paid for it, and she received it free to then in return for publicising the clinic. So people were like, well, if it had gone well, would you have kept quiet about the fact that you got it for free, or would you? Do you know what I mean? Because no one knew, and so recently it's come out she actually got it for free. She didn't pay for it. So it's like, well, would you have said that if it had gone well and it didn't, you looked how you wanted to look? So it's just sort of this person's promoting these sort of things, and Tutu's that it's wrong. Like it sounds really bad what she's going through regarding it, but she's like, that's what happens.
She's got 103. Wow, really bad maths. 135k followers. Like that's a lot.
But she's always getting into drama though, and every year she's like, oh, I'm not doing any more negativity, I'm not doing any more drama, I'm minding my own business. She's in another argument with someone. I'm like, don't, like, what do you like?
Are you not tired?
I mean, that's legit.
Are you not embarrassed?
And she dropped a friend saying, oh yeah, I'm not talking to this friend anymore because they're always bringing drama to my door. Okay, cool. This friend that's supposed to bring drama to their door, I've not heard a peep out of them. There's nothing going on with them, but with her, there's still drama coming to her door, regardless of this friend. So it's her, it's not the friend.
She's still the one that's chatting. She's still the one that's kind of talking about it.
Exactly. She can't handle, like, she's the negative. She can't handle peace. She always has to have some sort of fight or some sort of, like, her story times are wild. Actually wild. There's one story time where she was like, she found out her boyfriend was cheating, so she went to the girl's house and attacks the girl, and the girl's neighbour came out, and I'm just like, well, why are you attacking the girl? It's your man that's cheating, not it's not the girl alone. But yeah, she's a bit much. I mean, God forbid, if she hears this, I'm in trouble.
She'll find your house.
She will find me.
You'll be like, please,
Get my neighbour. My neighbour's like 80 something. They ain't gonna help me.
They'll shut the door again. Like,
Be like, oh, okay, here we go. These ethnics. Fighting again.
These BAMEs at it again.
But that's why it's spreading. They can't stay in their houses.
The intergenerational families.
It's true.
That's really bad.
It's bad, but again, where is the lie? Where is the lie?
We're all saying this because we're just making fun of our own
You legit.
ethnic communities.
Yes,
It's
exactly.
true.
We're not. I'm not talking about Ali's community. She ain't talking about mine. We're talking about our own. We're talking about our own respective ethnicities. There is no offense. There's no offense at all. Don't do that. That causes doubt.
Are we overcompensating? We're like, we're not trying to offend anyone.
Are we snowflakes?
But the thing, the thing is, I think it's very hard not to. There will always be someone offended by something you say. There'll be always. If you search hard enough, you will find someone who's like, I don't like what you said. It made me feel this is gonna offend people. I don't like what you said. I don't like what you said. I don't like being portrayed as someone who's always offended. I'm offended that you're saying I'm always offended.
That was like an offended, like squared in, like that just messed my mind up. Inception
It's
style.
like
It's like destroyed.
Offensection.
That caused you. That caused you too much pain.
Affection.
You know what?
Affection.
I am offended. I'm offended by that.
Hang on, wait.
You're cancelled.
Inception.
No, stop it.
Affection.
Huh?
Offension.
You're just rude. The English language is declining as you speak. Please.
I'm offended by that. Why?
Or dictionaries.
I can't speak English now. Excuse me? Excuse you?
You're excused, yeah. Language is not flourishing right now.
It's flourishing. It's flourished. It's a flourish. It's flourished.
We're in lockdown 3. We can't communicate with anyone. So how do people expect that our language is gonna?
It's true, actually.
We're not speaking to anyone. It's so difficult to maintain a conversation and a flow.
I agree. And give it long enough, we're gonna start reverting back to like caveman days and grunting. So you know what?
Raw. Speak for yourself. How dare you think I will go to caveman levels? Grunting. That's, you know what? By lockdown 57, that's all we're gonna do, innit? Just
It's true.
Series 5 of the podcast, episode 307, because no point starting a new series. Same series.
Shall we bet on how many more lockdowns we reckon there'll be?
Oh, that's a good one. Okay. Oh no.
I think I will be in my 30s before I see true freedom again.
Are you serious?
Okay, say how old you are, Ali.
Oh my god, why? Oh.
I'm 28 next month, so I feel, yeah.
I think you just made Tania cry.
I think it's gonna be a good while because the process is the whole like vaccine thing. But okay, they said they might start easing things in March. That's not a complete reopening, that like loosening a little bit. So that might be like certain shops can open, or this, that, and that can open. Doesn't mean it's gonna, I think we'll probably see normality. Maybe later this year.
You're way too close to your mic. You're way too
September.
close.
Well, that's it then. I might as well. Just what's the point of doing anything?
I'm moving to New Zealand now.
But before you give up, Tanya, how many lockdowns do you think?
I reckon we've still got a couple more to go.
Oh. I'm gonna be optimistic.
Ease restrictions.
I'll
go up again.
I'm gonna be optimistic. I'm gonna be optimistic and say this lockdown will go on until about Easter. Might drip into summer. I think we'll open. I think we're gonna have a repeat of last year. Like, we'll be open for the summer, and then we'll have another winter spike, and then we'll probably go into another one. But hopefully by then, vaccines and all of that start making a bloody difference. Because
I'm getting to a point though. Like, why all these lockdowns? Because it's still like it's not stopping it spreading. So I don't understand. Like, I don't.
We're not doing it properly. We're not doing New Zealand style
that's not.
lockdowns. We're doing shit ass versions of them. Sorry.
No, it's true, because don't say it's lockdown and then I've heard about certain places, like for example, I've heard schools, there's tons of people still going into schools, there's tons of staff still going into schools, so what is the point? And supermarkets, they're not really regulated. That's where I think a lot of the spread is coming from. I think I have my theory, I've got on my foil hat.
Oh my
I
God.
think it's supermarkets, because for me, look, at the moment they're not regulated. The hygiene stations, there's not really many, and not everyone's using them. Not everyone's wearing a mask. I went to my local supermarket the other day, absolutely packed. There was no way I could socially distance. There were so many people in there. Self-service. They don't clean self-service, one after the other, after the other, after the other. How many people have used that self-service checkout before you have? Touched the buttons, touched the screens, touched, whatever. And then you're touching it, you're touching your groceries, you're taking your groceries home. No one's looked at supermarket. I know they're necessary, but no one's looked at them and been like, do you know what I mean? Because I saw a big drop when it was more mandatory, like A to Q, you had to use hand sanitizer, things were regularly wiped down. That's when it dropped, whereas now it's just a bit of a joke. I'm going to work, but there's like 50 cars in the street. Where are you all going to? Where are you driving? It's a lockdown, but why are you so busy?
We've come back to that jogger attitude. Why is everyone out?
I had exactly the same thought when I went for a walk earlier today. There were so many cars. I was like, where the hell are these people going?
Yeah.
And then I thought, maybe shopping, some food, maybe they're going for exercise. Like, who knows? Maybe going to work.
In the car.
On a Saturday.
Stretching my legs.
Maybe to just feel something.
To do a walk.
But that's because in the first one, it actually felt like a lockdown. No one was going out. Whereas now, yeah, exactly. It was like a ghost town. You'd go out and you might see a few joggers, and that is it. Whereas now, all these essential. There is a pet groomers that is open. Please tell me why that's an essential business.
Why the hell?
Pet groomers. Oh no, Lucky can't get her trim. I think Lucky can wait a few months for a trim,
Ain't so lucky now. Oh dear.
Do you know what I mean? But I think in these shops, I'm like, why is this shop open? It's not essential. Wilkinson's, I love my Wilkinson's, but that's not an essential shop that can stay closed. It should only be food shops and maybe DIY shops for materials in case you need house repairs. That is it. There should be nothing else open.
It's hard, isn't it? Because there's all these things that are kind of it kind of emphasizes the feeling of hopelessness right now, doesn't it? And I think for me,
we're not strict enough. I think we need to be stricter.
Yeah.
I'd rather take a really harsh 2 or 3 months.
It's just not happening. No matter how much we want, we have a reactive government rather than a preemptive government. They're just reacting. They're just very slow. But I've just remembered that there has been good news recently. Another woman of color. Completely forgetting that Joe Biden is president, but everyone's definitely excited about Kamala Harris as vice. So I think that's I do think she's an exciting role model. I know she's not perfect, but that representation, she's pretty cool.
Especially because it's like the political. Oh my god! Please delete this. The political landscape where previously we were only seeing women of colour in the entertainment industries. We don't really see them in high office.
I think it's one.
We have them here, but they are,
they're okay.
Not particularly liked as much as.
Oh.
They're not seen as liberal enough, I think, is the problem.
That's true. When they're highly conservative, not the best representation. I was trying. Yeah, that's not. But
Did you guys see an interview with Preeti Patel and what's his name, Piers Morgan? You know there's an issue when you're agreeing with Piers Morgan. She would not answer the question. He asked, why are we the worst in the world? And she just couldn't ask it. And she's like, we've got different factors. We've got, diverse, and he was like, well, other countries have diverse populations. They're still able to, they're not the worst. So what is it? It's just to be fair, he has been actually, Piers Morgan's been pretty lit with all this, COVID, when he's been interviewing people, he comes hard. He'd make me cry, I couldn't actually.
He would grill you proper.
he has the pressure, and I appreciate it because not enough people are doing that, and I think that's what they need. People aren't happy, and it's just they're sort of turning a blind eye and like ignoring it. So when they do their interviews, and people are like, "Wow, people are dying. Why is this the case?"
Yeah,
you can't really escape.
Why is it such a debate to feed the poor children?
Yeah, and he's like, "Oh, we're glad." Man couldn't even say, "Why did you vote no?" He couldn't even, like, and he kept on saying it. I loved how he kept on repeating the question, "Well, you voted no. Why did you vote no?" And it was just so beautifully awkward.
Yeah, and he asked if he regretted it, and he was just like,
"I'm glad now."
It.
But it's just like, that's not the answer. That's what I've
that
asked
was
you.
so frustrating.
Did you regret it?
That was so frustrating because he just wouldn't answer, and I just wanted to slap his face. Because it's just like, you know, we're working, you know, I'm really proud. Or you kept repeating something really stupid, like, oh, you know.
But it's like, but why do you regret voting no? And he just couldn't answer. I was like, yeah.
I mean, they do. Politicians have, like, literally, that is their skill, isn't it? To just dance around the questions they don't want to answer. It's mad.
But the thing is, though, the beneficial thing is, like, everyone can see your trash. Like, the fact you couldn't answer the question properly, and you know deep in your heart of hearts that went poorly. You know how you've come across in that. So it's just like, whatever answer that he gave, unless it was a blatant, yes, I do regret it, you look poor. You look terrible. So,
amen to that. Well, to wrap up this very interesting episode, we didn't, you know, I think this, how can we summarize this? Do we even have good role models right now? I don't know.
I like the idea of picking and choosing. I think we have an abundance of potentials, and I think it's more, do you think you need one? I don't think I need one. I like being inspired by people, but I don't think I need a role model because...
because we're old.
Yeah. So...
We're a bit more established, but growing up, I would have liked more than... Yeah, I would have liked more, but... At the end of the day, I've always said my big sister's been my role model because she's just always been competent.
Yeah, family members.
Yeah,
competent. It seems to be a very difficult skill to have these days, especially if you're in politics.
I agree.
I've actually just thought of someone, guys, that I think we all would be familiar with growing up.
Oh.
Connie Hawk on Blue Peter.
Big up.
Oh, she was cute. Oh,
big up the huckster.
The other one.
Love her.
The other one.
There's a black lady who's also Blue Peter.
Oh yeah.
Was Angelica?
I don't remember her name.
Angelica, that's Angelica Houston, I think.
You know she looks the exact same now.
I thought she was on CBBC.
She was on CBBC. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I saw her recently. She was presenting something on the One Show because, you know, unfortunately I don't watch the One Show, but it ended up on my television.
Yeah, you do. Don't lie.
I can't.
Angelica Bell.
I can't stand it. Angelica Bell, yeah. She looks exactly the same. She is not aged.
She has not aged.
It is
at all.
mad.
Like, she looks so good.
How did she look the same as when I was learning to like spell some words?
Literally.
Like how is she around when I was doing my SATs? Like,
no stress.
I think she's in radio now. She's a radio presenter.
Yeah, man.
Her husband as well. He was a presenter. He looks exactly the same as well. You know.
He's her husband.
Her husband is Google. Her husband is Michael Underwood.
Sounds familiar, but I don't know who that is. Might just Google it.
I'll send the picture.
Okay. Is he someone I'm gonna recognise?
You will recognise him. He was also a presenter.
Oh yeah.
Send him. He ain't aged either.
Oh my god, is that her husband? Oh, he was in everything. Mad.
Yeah, I remember seeing him.
Final.
That's so cool that they're married.
I think that's very cute. That makes me happy.
And they've been together for time, actually, over 10 years now. That's cute.
There is hope in the world, guys. There is hope.
You know he's retired. I'm googling him right now.
He's retired. I mean, wow.
Wow, good for him.
Oh.
That's the thing, making money for me, like my main thing would be to get a house. So once I've earned enough to buy a house outright, with a little bit left over, I'm retiring. Like, he's not.
Oh no, he's become a teacher.
Wait, what?
Has he? Oh.
Yeah, he retired from presenting and became a teacher in 2020.
That is
but I allow it though, because I can't have my conduits as my teacher. But are you a CBBC, mate?
Yeah, but the kids these days wouldn't know what that is. Like,
But you know they're googling their teacher and the staff. Like I used to watch.
yeah, and they can't chat shit because man was successful. man was on TV. He's now trying to teach you how to spell, and you're failing at that. So please listen to a teacher.
I mean, good for him. Good for him. I just feel like I couldn't look at him properly. I'm like, oh my gosh, I used to watch you on BBC.
Yeah.
I've been to Star Trek every briefing. I'm like, oh my gosh.
Yeah. Oh god, that's quite surreal actually. To be a teacher, bless them. That's actually very good too. That's nice. I like hearing about stuff like that.
In this pandemic, the reason why we've not heard much is because they live peaceful lives. There's no dramas. There's no
controversy. Yeah.
That's why you're not hearing about them. They're just there, just doing their own thing. Peace.
They're just happy.
Yeah. Indeed.
Yeah, Connie Huck is with Charlie Brooker, innit?
Yeah.
He started all this pandemic shit. It was him with his Black Mirror bullshit.
He
started
this.
Put ideas in the government's head. Because then the government was pissed off with the national anthem episode where they fucked the pigs. He's like, this is revenge.
Episode 1. That was episode 1, and I was so scarred. I couldn't.
That was wild. I haven't watched it more than once. I can't watch it again.
I think I did, and I don't know why I did. I went back to it and I was like,
was it? Ends though, why?
I know, but I went back like, was it really that bad? And I looked back and I was like, bruh, from even just scripting and filming this, how?
That's the thing. It's like you have to simulate having sex with a pig and then cry.
And then just keep crying.
The dystopia is horrible.
Yeah. But Black Mirror, that it is excellent writing. It is.
I liked.
Yeah.
Shut Up and Dance. I've watched that multiple times. I love that episode.
Is that the one where he has to do all the like he's like a delivery driver, isn't he?
Yeah, okay. He's naughty.
But we don't, no spoilers. But that one's a bit mad.
That's good. What else is good?
Ooh.
The White Christmas is good. I liked that.
I don't love the one as much.
That's
alright. It's the one where the recent series that we watched. Have you seen them all, Tanya?
Which one?
The most recent series when they were playing the video game, and it was the male.
I need to watch that one again. That was wild.
Oh yeah, I've seen. Yeah,
mad.
I've seen all of them, and it's just too disturbing.
The male best friends. Huh?
It's a Bandersnatch, that one, or the one where there was two guys.
Two guys.
Twice in this lockdown, I'm understanding it more.
To play a video game. I'm dead. I'm not going to play video games with you.
It is what it is. I mean, it's a bit weird in that respect, but you know what? If it wasn't a friend, if they weren't friends and they were strangers, I would get it more. I get it.
Yeah, lockdown be making us do crazy things, and people are doing crazy things, and some people at different points of different lockdowns, I know, like adhering to the rules. It's hard, but some people make it out like it's impossible and just do some next things. But right now, I can see a bigger push for people following the rules than before, because as we were saying earlier, there was so much more fear from the first one. Now, people moving reckless, you know.
Because people are bored and tired. That's the problem. And I just want things to go back to normal. So I'm getting tired of people being like, oh, blah, blah. Like, stop going to parties. My goodness. Just stop it.
Honestly, New Year's Eve, I was so innocent to that. I was saying to you, Ali, wasn't I? Like, no one's planning a party. People know not to do that. I don't think there'll be that many parties. Yeah, there was quite a few.
That's the thing. That's so long, because I love New Year's Eve. And if I wanted to, I probably could have found. I didn't do anything. I stayed in my room. What did I watch? I think I watched some historical food shows or something rubbish like that. And the fireworks, and then two just think on Instagram, parties here, this, that, and the other. Police are coming. I'm just like, why couldn't it was just one night? Could they not?
I was so shocked.
Do you know what I mean? So frustrating.
Anyway, guys, let's try and end on a positive note. Let's round up and final words about role models, women of colour, and not anything to do with the pandemic. There's a really funny TikTok actually of someone saying
the P word.
Instead of saying pandemic, they just kept saying other words like, oh, in the middle of a panoramic, in the middle of a perpendicular, like
Middle of a Panasonic.
yeah. Oh, panettone.
Middle of a pumpkin.
Now that sounds fun.
Panettone, I love that one. Panettone.
Middle of a panettone. Oh god, it's my response to everything. Like in a pandemic, I'm just gonna say panorama now, just to discombobulate people. But yeah, well,
in a pickle.
No, pickle's too real.
It's too real,
we are definitely in a pickle. I'm been pickleated for too long. My brain is definitely pickles right now.
We're gonna become pixelated soon.
Nice one.
This was season 6 of Black Mirror.
I didn't sign up. Let me get the flipping pay for it then.
It's all a simulation. We're gonna wake up and be on a spaceship as the world becomes flat.
Well, I've enjoyed this episode, guys.
Having a moment, yeah. Leave me.
My goodness. All right. Well, let's just hope.
It's been real.
It's been really, really real and real strange.
Really. Very.
Thanks, guys. Tune in.
Sonical.
Tania, we've enjoyed collabing with you in this hour-long rant. It's been fantastic. And hopefully more collaborations.
It's been bloody brilliant. I've loved every second.
It's been so fun. It's been ages since the last one, so this has been really great. So stay tuned. Hopefully some
great.
more.
Great excuse to just like get together and have a chat
100%.
remotely.
To feel something inside.
Yeah, this was we didn't break no rules. And no rules were broken. We abided the law. I'm not doing prison for no one.
Nope.
I'm not getting fined.
100%. All right, let's say bye, guys. Bye.
Bye.
Peace out.
Peace. Deuces.
Thank you for listening to our podcast.
Hope you enjoyed today's episode. Please remember to follow us on Twitter and Instagram at CTMC Brand. We are now on all major streaming services. Thank you, and make sure to check out our other episodes.